Time for the KSL In-Depth. He found the first flight out of Israel he could. Now he's in our studios. Rabbi Chaim Zippel and his family just made it home safely from Israel late last night. He joins me live in the studio. Rabbi, we are so grateful to have you here and to have you tell us about your experience. So first of all, talk about where you were when the bombing broke out.
Sure. My wife and I were spending the Jewish holiday of Sukkot and Simchat Torah in Israel, celebrating her younger brother's bar mitzvah, his 13th birthday. We chose to spend the final day of the holiday, which is a particularly joyous day on the Jewish calendar, in a city called Omer, which is in the south of Israel, not too far from the Gaza Strip. We spent the beginning of the holiday like any other. We danced with the Torah to celebrate the completion of the cycle of reading the Torah. We danced with the Torah in the streets actually on a Friday night. And we kissed our baby boy to sleep, our 1-year-old, on Friday night with a sense of calm and a sense of security and safety, which was shattered the next morning at, I think it was 6:29 a.m. with the first ezakah, they call it in Hebrew, the red alert siren that there were rockets headed in our direction. And we ran for cover in the bomb shelter.
What went through your mind when that red alert went off?
So it's important to keep in mind that we don't use our phones or any electricity on the Shabbat, on the holiday. So no phones, no radio, no television. So as terrifying as it was, me being an American citizen, a Utah citizen, I'm not used to things like this. In Israel, it wasn't, in the beginning, it didn't feel so heavy. It didn't feel so serious because, as unfortunate as it is, this happens somewhat regularly. That there will be a brush up every few months and there will be rockets flying in, and then Israel will respond and it will sort of just go away. So we were scared, but we didn't think it was necessarily the extremely dangerous, unfortunate situation that it unfolded to be. And we had very limited information as it continued to unfold.
So how did you get home? What did it take for you to get home?
It was really rough. I would say that first of all, we actually ended up continuing with our day. Me and my younger brother-in-law were walking to the synagogue in hopes of cheering people up in the community. We thought things were regular, and we were stopped by a frantic Israeli driver just right next to us, and he told me in Hebrew, I don't know if you guys know, there's a balagan, there's chaos, that means. He had one hand on the steering wheel and one hand on a large loaded gun, and he basically was like, there's mechablim, there's terrorists coming into the settlements, into the cities, and they're trying to kidnap and kill the civilians, so you guys cannot be in the streets. And as he continued to speed off, we looked up and saw a large black pillar of cloud in front of us that had just hit, I don't know how many feet away. So we took off and ran back, and we spent the rest of the day in and out of the shelter, hearing warplanes, fighter planes flying above us. It was a lot. So the second the holiday was over, I got on I sent a message to a travel agent, and I said, send us anywhere. I said, we're with a 1-year-old, we're in the south, it's dangerous. Just please get us a flight anywhere. And a couple hours later, he messaged me. He's like, I need an answer now. Within the minute, I have 2 seats remaining on a flight to Zurich, to Switzerland. Do you want it or not? There was little time to think. I just said, sure, whatever it costs. We got to get home. We got to get safe. And we hopped on the first flight to Zurich, and we basically said, we'll figure out how to get the rest of the way home after.
You and your family are safe, but I can hear that you're heartbroken.
It's been a lot. It's really been a lot. It was 50 plus hours of travel, which is never easy with a baby, but the things we've seen and the things that we've encountered have been really heavy. And I would say the thing that gutted us the most was turning on our phones after the holiday and seeing on social media, seeing online videos of the rally that happened here, where there were people dancing and singing and celebrating in the streets, something that was personal. My message sort of here is that this is personal. This is not something happening in a country thousands of miles away. This is something that hits home. I know KSL broke on the story about the Utah man that was killed also in the fighting. I know about my family's experiences. This is very personal. So when you see these videos of people here literally celebrating as if they won a soccer game, dancing, singing, they're celebrating our terror and the things that we lived through.
Rabbi, thank you for sharing your heartbreaking story with us. And joining me live here in the studio has been Rabbi Chaim Zippel. He and his family just made it home from Israel safely.